Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me. My email is still tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It is still in the description below. It is still your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on our platforms. Email me at tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. If you are going to buy a Jaeger-LeCoultre and you want the iconic watch, you buy either a Reverso or you buy a Memovox. And what we have here is perhaps the most emblematic iteration of the Memovox for the modern era. This is what you imagine when you think of the Memovox, whether you were born in 1955, 65, 75, 85, 95, 2005. This watch is the Memovox, the Master Control Memovox. Last revised for the 2020 model year, this is the latest version of it, 40 millimeters in stainless steel. The watch measures only 12.5 millimeters thick, and from end to end, lug to lug, 47.5 millimeters with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. On my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, this is a wonderfully modern size. It still has a very refined mid-20th century modern look to it, but it is larger for modern tastes, 40 being just about perfect as a universal men's all-arounder for the 21st century. And you can see that with a relatively thin profile and a stepped case flank, it will slide underneath the cuff. Here's your over the top, and I am pulling the strap kind of tight. This is a better view for fit purposes down the barrel where you can see the lugs are nowhere near the edge of my wrist. The strap is JLC. Factory strap, as you can see, a brand new JLC factory strap. Calf on the bottom, calf on the top, light brown monotone stitch. Sheer cut side showing the layers of leather, and a pull-tab spring bar on each side so you can pop the strap off the case without tools. We also have a double deployant clasp here. You can see friction fit. It features a little push button release on the bottom. So just as you can release the strap from the case, you can release the buckle from the strap if you want to swap straps. You can do it entirely tool-free, which is brilliant. The case is simple but strong. As you'll note, the lugs flow from a rather sheer profile to a pointed tip. There's a soft bevel that rides along the flanks. You can see the bevel as well as the lug hood polished with the case being satinated, and we have a little bit of an inward step to the bezel, so that visually thins the watch. An inward step, then a short vertical face, then a conical profile to the bezel. We have two crowns, both with the JL logo. This one is used for setting the alarm, quick setting the date, and winding the alarm barrel. The other one, this one, is used for setting the time, and if you wish to wind this automatic winding watch, you can also do so with this crown. Now note we have a stop seconds function here, so you can set the watch to a reference time. And then we have a combination of a setting mechanism using a central disc for the Memovox alarm, but when you turn in the opposite direction, the caliber 956 has a quick set. And it wasn't until the 2000s that we actually had JLC Memovox movements with quick sets, so that still feels quite novel to me. The dial is lovely with a silver sunburst pattern. We have Dauphine hands at center, which are half satinated. You can see half satinated, half polished. They stand out better on this silver base. We have tri-Arabic numerals. Both the dart style indices and the numerals are appliqué for an upscale look. And we have a blued counterweighted lancet style seconds hand. You can also see that we have these little luminescent applications outboard of the hours. So though this is perhaps a little bit of a dress watch, there's absolutely no trouble seeing it in the dark. And you could see that the indicator for the alarm likewise is illuminated. So you can see when the alarm has been set, and you can also, let's see if I can nail this. You can activate the alarm even in the dark. You can hear it's quite vocal. It will wake you up. And I think that's pretty much the acid test of a wristwatch alarm. Will it wake you up? Because especially when you're traveling, it helps to have an alarm with you. You can use it for anything. Yes, it can be your alarm clock, but it can also remind you of 5 minutes to the end of an intermission, or the start of a meeting, or the time of your flight, or just keep you apprised of the kids' time out or food on the stove. This is a very versatile watch. You will encounter the Memovox paradox, which is something I've noted, where if you do set an alarm, watch, you get so excited about its imminent activation that you start glancing at it in the minutes leading up to the alarm. So it reminds you all the same, but maybe not the way intended. So you wind up paying more attention to your watch when you know it's going to chime. Turning it all over. Historically, Memovox JLC watches did not have display case backs. I'm actually glad that this one does, because the caliber 956 is pretty good looking. Now you can see the striker. It uses a resonator that is actually separate from the case, so it doesn't have that rattling cricket sound of vintage alarms. It actually has a lot of sustain and volume and a lyrical, musical quality that was actually tuned at the factory to be particularly pleasing and not shrill or jarring. So you can see the striker, and when it's active, I may as well show you that too, it does present quite a sight. That's how that works. So the movement is a unidirectional winder with ceramic rotor bearings, because those two features make it a more efficient winder than bidirectional with lubricated steel bearings. These are unlubricated, they don't need any servicing, and the lubricants will not dry out and slow down the winding. Pivots on 24 joules, beats away at 4 hertz. You could see that it has a rose gold rotor, real fire blued screws, gorgeous stripes across the bridges with satination on the outer edges of the bridges. You can also see that they're both polished and blued screws here. Automatic winding, 45-hour power reserve, 4 hertz beat rate, of course, the quick set date, the stop seconds, a free sprung balance for durability, and all of the adjustments are done using the balance wheel itself. There are variable inertia bolts on the balance. Moving them in and out will change the timing of the watch, and it has been through the Master 1000 hours control. The watch is 50 meters water resistant, which is 20 more than a standard dress watch, so quite nice. The Master 1000 hours control, originally introduced in 1992 on the Master Grand Tie, today governs every JLC watch except the caliber 101 micro movement. So on the Master series, that entails timing no worse than -1 + 6 seconds per day, plus tests of water resistance, winding efficiency, power reserve, and overall durability. Remember, it is a 1,000-hour control, so over 40 days compared to the 2 weeks that the COSC chronometer test is applied. And then remember, the COSC test is only a 5-position test of a bare movement. This is a 6-position test of the fully assembled watch. If you love this watch, and I do, reach out to me, Team Mosso, at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.